Let's call to order the RTC meeting for Friday, February 16th with the roll call.
Sajid Solaria,
Here.
Devin Reese,
Here.
Ed Lawson,
Here?
Bill Thomas,
Here.
Mary Luz Garcia,
Here.
Adam Spear.
Here.
Thank you, we have a quorum.
All right, the Pledge of Allegiance. Who's out there? Art? Will you lead us in the pledge?
Of the United States of America.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Nation.
Indivisible.
with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, public comment. I have one public, I have two, I have three. Earl Baynewen? Did I say that right? Earl, you're gonna have to help me out. But I know it's you, but I can't,
Bry Nelson.
Ray Nelson.
Bry
what does that say?
Nelson.
That's a B on the front.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I have terrible handwriting.
Like,
Sorry,
you
I'm
should be a doctor.
I'm a bus driver.
Doctor's
morning.
next.
How are you all?
Good.
I'm sure most of you remember me. I've been here a few times. Most of the time I come here to complain. Well, sometimes. I'm a member of the CMAC committee, and I'm asking all members and members of the board if we could change that from a virtual meeting to an in-person meeting. I've had discussions with other members, and when I joined it, myself and another gentleman who works for RIDE, we both were under the impression it was going to go to a in-person meeting. And that's why we joined, to try and help get our system back to the way it was years ago. Because right now, our system is crashing, and it's crashing hard. So that's why we wanted to join, to help out and get it back to the way it was. Because we believe that we can help. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to do it. We think it should be an in-person meeting. Virtual just doesn't cut it. The other thing is when we listened to the last meeting, there was a discussion about expanding the Flex Ride to South Meadows. Currently, the Flex Ride is canceling rides because they don't have enough personnel. I know this for a fact. My wife takes Flex Ride 5 days a week. It is not, you guys don't have enough personnel to expand Flex Ride when you can't cover the current people that you have expecting the ride to be there. So in my opinion, it's too early to expand out to South Meadows, which is a huge area to cover. Take care of your house right now before you expand. That's all I got.
Thanks, Earl.
Thank you.
Jennifer Iveson?
Good morning. I'm Jennifer Iveson with Safe Routes to School with the Washoe County School District. I would like to point out the bus that's outside, and I want to thank RTC for being such an amazing community partner and participating in the first annual pedestrian safety message poster contest. This is one of 3 buses, so we're super excited. This is our first one. We always are so grateful for RTC for being such an amazing community partner and for your incredible generosity. Having 3 buses with safety messages was more than we could have imagined. We thought there was only going to be 1, and you surprised us with 3. We can't thank you enough for your commitment to pedestrian and bike safety in our community and your constant support of our program, Safe Routes to School, and the students of the Washoe County School District. The students that won these contests do not know, their parents do, so that they could be present at the assemblies next week. And we invite all of you to attend, so if you'd like to, we could send you the dates for the assemblies and their locations. So thank you again. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Madam Clerk, do you have any other public comment?
We received one by email yesterday, which was emailed to the commissioners and will be part of the minutes.
Thank you. Anyone in the public wishing to speak at this time? Okay. We'll bring you back to the dais, and you had a change to agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I would like to pull item 4.5.3.
Pull it, meaning
remove it from the agenda today. And
Okay.
bring it back next month.
Okay. So,
Move to approve the remaining items,
Second.
agenda as posted.
got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. That was fast. Public hearing, 5.1, adopt a resolution approving an agreement for the exchange of property owned by RTC, a fee simple interest on,
Mr. Chair, we need consent.
pardon me? Did I miss consent? I thought that we just did that.
You missed the back.
Item 5. Or 4, excuse me.
You have to show me what I missed. Consent, consent was in there.
Minutes, right, separate, so,
Okay, looking for approval of the minutes.
for the consent.
For the
Full
consent.
consent agenda. Sorry.
I thought we just approved the consent agenda.
Approve the agenda as
Okay,
modified by the.
sorry.
Approval. I will move to approve the consent items. I have no items to pull.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Now we to the public hearing? Now you got me on track? Thank you. Thanks for watching after me. They just let me out of the home this morning. All right, public hearing. Adopt a resolution approving an agreement for an exchange of property owned by RTC of fee simple interest, APN 004-061-28, and permanent access to the utility easement over APN 004-061-20 and 004-061-26 and 004-06122 and 035-03302 for property owned by the Truckee Meadows Water Authority for a fee simple interest on APN 140-051-23. That's a lot of APNs.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. Dale Keller, Director of Engineering for the record. As the Chair read in, today's hearing is regarding the and resolution for approving this property exchange with Tumwa. So a quick little background. The RTC acquired these clear acre parcels back in between 1999 and 2004 related to a clear acre sutural interchange project. We completed part of the work, and these RTC parcels are no longer needed. The areas that are going to be exchanged with Truckee Meadows Water Authority is shown on the screen. This is the general exhibit, but the legals and exhibits are shown in the agenda packet. On the far left, there's a simple fee area where there's proposed water tanks and the utility easements that go out to Clear Acre. In exchange, the RTC will be receiving the area shown in blue on the far right as part of a upcoming Geiger grade realignment / toll road extension project. And here's a parcel a bit more up close off of Western Skies. It's the full simple fee acquisition for APN. This is a road that parallel connects in the Geiger grade as we look into improve the connections down in the south part of town. So RTC and Tumwa has finalized the terms of the property exchange agreement attached to this resolution. So following this public hearing, the adoption of this resolution will approve the agreement and satisfy the requirements per NRS.
Okay,
Happy to answer any questions.
any questions from the commission at this time? Okay, this is a public hearing. Anyone in the public wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the dais. I'm looking for a motion.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries unanimously. 5.2, conduct a public hearing on proposed service charge changes as recommended by the fiscal year 2025 Transit Optimization Plan Strategies of the TOPS Plan, document for the RTC ride and Flex Ride beginning on or after May 4, 2024. Approve the recommended service changes.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Jim Gee. I'm the Director of Public Transportation, and I'm here to quickly outline the service changes proposed for this year. First change is a very simple routing change on Route 13. Previous routing, which is on the map on the left, shows the route continuing on Grove across Kitski, turning left on Harvard. The proposed line of routing is from Grove to turn right on Kitski, left on Linden, and then left on Harvard, per the map on the bottom right. This is a change that was suggested by our Keola safety team, and it is to avoid the parking at Grove and Harvard near Costco, which gets very congested and it makes a very difficult left-hand turn for our drivers. Next are some miscellaneous increases to service. First, Route 21, which is the route that connects Centennial Plaza and Sparks to the Legends area, will have increased frequency on Sundays, moving from every 60 minutes to every 30 minutes. This is based on ridership and demands from passengers. Following that, the Virginia line will have extended high-frequency service later in the evening, going from 7 o'clock where it is today to approximately 9:30 beginning in May, and that is to accommodate shoppers and folks that work at the mall and folks that work later and want to take advantage of the Virginia line. And then finally, to address the customer service issue, we are physically assigning bus bays at Meadowood Mall, where we've had some occasional complaints that customers have difficulty navigating to the correct bus at the mall. So we're going to assign spots for every route. We also looked at our level of service for each of the holidays. These are the holidays listed here that we propose to change, and this is based upon our ridership post-COVID. So all of these are increases in service and frequency, and will allow people who use public transit to have better access to jobs and better access to opportunities on those days. And then finally, our biggest change and most substantial is the creation of a fourth flex ride zone. This zone will serve the South Meadows, Demonte Ranch area with connections to the Summit on the south and to Meadowood Mall on the north, with additional connections at Rayleigh's, the UNR campus, the Northern Nevada Sierra Medical Campus, the library, the ice rink, and several others. It adds a substantial amount of jobs and people to our flex ride area, and as ridership improves, number of drivers improve, vehicles improve, we do expect it to expand over time and could lead to future changes on Route 56, which is the traditional fixed route in that area. All of these changes are proposed to begin on May 4th. Feedback has generally been positive, especially for the flex ride expansion. That's something that a lot of folks have been asking for a long time, and we're finally able to deliver the service. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, questions from the commission? Go ahead.
Well, first of all, great. This is some great changes and things that this board have asked, especially on the level of service for holidays. Thank you so much for looking into that and improving that and adding additional frequency, because that's the key to the success of our transit. So thank you for doing that. I'm just wondering, on Route 13, did we go to any of our committees for that change?
So both, all of these changes went through the TAC and CMAC committees.
Great.
The 13, I would just additionally note, does not miss any bus stops. It actually adds a stop
Okay.
at Linden and Grove.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? Jim, how do you address Earl's public comment earlier? Do we have enough drivers for flex ride?
We are always looking. We could use more. But what we do when we are short on drivers is we outsource to Uber and Lyft. So we have an in-house mechanism that automatically pushes those trips out based upon the expected wait time. We'll look at Earl's comments and see what the issue is with his wife in the service. But the way the mechanism is supposed to work is when a person has a more than 30-minute wait, those trips get pushed out to outside providers.
Okay, thank you. All right, is that it? All right. This is a public hearing. Anyone in the public wishing to speak? Madam Clerk, you have any comments on this?
We do not.
Thank you. All right, we'll bring it back to the dais, and I am looking for a motion.
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Reports 6.1, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This morning, I wanted to start by acknowledging two events we held in the past week in the North Valleys. The first was a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the completion of Sky Vista Widening Rehabilitation Project. This is an important project that made significant improvements for drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians, and included a roundabout which would enhance and improve safety in that general area. This was a $17.7 million investment in the community, and I would note, because it's not commonly known, that this project was funded by the impact fees that are collected, which are required by all 3 local governments with new development. So this was a case where the new development impacts were addressed by the fees that were collected against that new development. The other event was the first public meeting of the Lemon Drive Safety and Resiliency Project. Around 60 people, including local media, attended the meeting to discuss the future of this important corridor. It's clear that there was a significant amount of interest in this project, and we will continue to engage the community as this project moves forward to make sure that the public is aware of all of the details of this project as it advances. According to Transit App, this is a really exciting thing to hear. We were the fastest growing user base for the Transit App in the country, I believe. We launched this app in January, and we've added 970 active users in the first month. Last month, we grew at a nearly 3,400 users, and we expect that this is going to continue to rise. We had a 350% growth, which is the number that was well beyond other places across the country, and one that we got the acknowledgement of the transit app company that was super exciting to them to see that we were so successful. So I know that's a particular issue that the board was very keen on, moving the technology, and I think it's a clear indication that the public is adapting and using it, and it'll make our system work much more efficiently, and I think help people to better understand how our transit system operates. So very excited about that announcement. Once again, we will provide free transit on all of our services for St. Patrick's Day and March 17th. The free service will run from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 2 o'clock in the morning. This will give all of our residents a safe option to get from place to place, especially if they plan on drinking. Using public transit will help keep our roads safe and also enhance safety for our pedestrians during this holiday. I think you heard, and clearly you can see, well, maybe not totally, with the Rob parked his truck in a good place. Where's Rob? We recently partnered with Safe Routes to School in the first annual pedestrian safety message contest. The 3 top posters from all ages in the Washoe County School District, and we got a significant number of submittals from the students, so they were very excited to comply or provide us with artwork. We picked the top 3 and we enlarged those into bus wraps. And as you can see out your window to the right, the bus wraps have been placed on our fixed route buses, and we will be driving them throughout the community. The first place winner is Anna Junking. She is from Peavine Elementary School, and her poster is on the bus outside. So she's first place. Second place goes to Ricardo Marquez from Desert Heights Elementary School, and third place to Jalen Vincente at DePoli Middle School. Each winner's school will have an assembly next week where they will get to see their artwork displayed on our bus as we will bring the individual buses to the school. Safe Routes to School and Blue Zone Sports are also providing these students with an iPad and a bike. Pedestrian safety is a major focus for RTC and Vision Zero Truckee Meadows. So we're very happy to see, working with the school district, that these children are able to participate in the creating these important messages, and of course the desire is that it'll be more impactful in terms of the way they approach, how they move around the community, and help make them and all of their peers better and safer citizens in terms of how they move throughout our community. As you know, we've had public agencies interested in this room and using this room. And so we have worked with both TMRPA and TUMWA to facilitate their use of our great room here. Due to our need for network security, we're going to have to charge because we're going to actually make sure that we have our people involved in these meetings. In this day and age, of course, with network security, it's paramount. Not that anybody would do anything intentionally, but we really have to be careful that by accident something doesn't happen that can be very disruptive to RTC's IT network. We will be, between RTC, TMRP, and Tumwa's meeting needs, this room will be very busy. We're going to do this as a pilot project to see how it works. Obviously, the purpose of this board is really for your meetings, first and foremost, and we don't want to compromise our success in using the room for its purpose. So we're going to watch and see how this works, and then make a determination in the future whether there might be opportunities for others. But we're going to start with those two agencies.
Most of us sit on the TLR.
Yeah. Well, you'll be familiar then. I'm pleased to introduce our newest employee, Tricia Starkey. Is Tricia here? Oh, there she is. Tricia joined Agency Services Administrative Associate this Tuesday. Her background is very broad and includes operating her own business, a floral farm and design company. She also worked with the City of Fernley as a financial administrative specialist and served as a patient liaison in a medical office, in addition to working in banking. So Tricia comes with a lot of experience in helping us with the public, as well as assisting other departments in their needs. So we welcome you, Tricia, and thank you for joining the team. I'd also like to congratulate Marquise Williams. He has hit his one-year mark. I don't know if he's down here tonight or today. Marquise started at RTC as a senior technical planner on February 6th of last year. Thank you, Marquise, for your hard work, and we look forward to many more years with you on board, helping us plan for the future transportation network in our community. I'd like the board to join me in congratulating Daryl Berkeley. He's the MTM Employee of the Month for January. Daryl has driven for Access for 4.5 years. He says the passengers make it a great place to work. The customers really like Daryl, and he receives positive feedback all the time. He's has an excellent safety record, and you can always count on him to show up for work every day on time. In addition, I'd like the board to join me in congratulating the Keolis Driver of the Month, Merrill Gibson. Merrill was born in Mexico and grew up in Phoenix before he moved here to Reno. He's worked as a bus operator for RIDE since September of 2020. His on-time performance is 95% in January with 0 preventable accidents. Finally, and closing out my comments, I wanted to just briefly introduce the board to Celtis Ventures. We brought them on board to handle our TOPS marketing plan. They're in town to get the ball rolling on this effort, and I would like, just briefly for the board, for Devin and Sandra to introduce themselves and maybe give the board a little bit of a briefing of what you've been doing, what you've seen, and kind of where we're going with this. Just to remind the board, as one of the high priorities you've had is to really focus our efforts to expand our transit system to address a Spanish-speaking sector of the community. So this great firm is the one we've hired, and thank you. You want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Thank you, Executive Director Thomas, Chairman Lawson, members of the board. We're really excited to be here. This is my coworker, Sandra Gonzalez. I'm Devin Chahosky. We're both with Celtis Ventures. I'm going to be your project manager, and Sandra is my right-hand person in working with RTC. We've been in town for the last couple of days. First of all, just learning about your system and about your community. Jim and Josh and Paul and their whole team have been wonderful about showing us around and getting us acquainted. And, you know, when we come up here to do this sort of introductory visit, we try to accomplish a couple of things. So, you know, first we want to look at your customer communications and your brand and how you are applying that, not just, you know, online or in any one touch point, but as a journey across the system. So as a customer moves through your system, how are they seeing all of the different things that RTC puts out to the public? Is that journey seamless? Do you know where you're going? Do you know the services that RTC offers? So we were looking at all of that. We were also, always on the lookout for ideas for campaigns, how to better promote your services, reach out to your customers. And so at the end of this visit, we are going to be putting together a communications audit, just compiling all of our findings, and then using that to make any suggestions or updates to your marketing plan. And that will really guide our work together going forward for the next 3 to 5 years as we roll out the TOPS marketing plan. We're really focused on Spanish language marketing. That's a specialty of Sandra's. She's done a lot of work in that area, and one of her campaigns just won an APTA award last year. So we're really excited to work with all of you on that, as well as other, ridership generation campaigns and just ways to raise your profile and get the word out in the community.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. That concludes my comments.
Okay. Let's go on to government affairs.
Good morning. Paul Nelson, Government Affairs Officer. Both houses of Congress are on their President's Day weekend, and they plan on returning February 26th. That'll give them about a week to get their appropriations bills passed before the March 1st and the March 8th deadlines. They think they're on course to pass these bills, but they don't have an agreement in place yet. If they push the timeline past April, or if they keep the spending flat through October 1st, then there would be some automatic cuts that would kick in. We are in the process of submitting some of our congressionally directed spending. We have 6 project requests that we're working on right now, each in the amount of between $1 million to $5 million in Reno, Sparks, and in Washoe County. So we'll have those submitted soon, and hopefully we'll have an answer before too long. The FTA is making recommendations for improving bus procurement in a few different ways. These include more standardized buses with fewer customizations to speed up production. It's also trying to strengthen the bus manufacturing industry, reduce contract costs, and to shorten delivery times. And finally, we're looking at some climate pollution reduction grants. These would use some federal dollars that we could apply to reduce emissions in our community. Some of the things that we're really focusing on is trying to get more bus ridership up to take people out of their cars and into their buses. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone questions? Okay. NDOT update.
Right. Let's see, presentation up. All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Sajid Solaria, NDOT Deputy Director. All right, I'm going to start off with a promotion benefiting our local NDOT operations here at District 2. Bhupinder Sandhu has served as an acting district engineer over recent months. And now he's been promoted to a district engineer. At District 2, he will oversee our highway maintenance and construction activities across northwestern Nevada. Bhupinder has been with the department about 18 years, and he has moved up in the ranks as a construction resident engineer, overseeing many of our regional construction projects. Prior to his promotion, he was serving as an assistant district engineer for the western region here in District 2. That includes overseeing NDOT highway construction and maintenance in the greater Washoe County area. So please, if you see him, congratulate him. He'll be the district engineer permanently. I want to give an update on our US 395 North Valleys project. At the end of January, we launched prior major earthwork. Northbound US 395 now is reduced to 2 lanes from Audi Boulevard to Golden Valley Road. The lane reductions are needed for safety as we construct retaining walls and resurface and widen the highway. For safer merging and traffic flow, the North McCarran on-ramp to northbound 395 is also closed with nearby highway access at a clear acre. The ramp and northbound lanes closure will be in place through 2025. Ultimately, this multi-year project will widen and repave approximately 4 miles of US 395 between North McCarran and Golden Valley. We also have project website, hotline, and text alerts to keep the commuters updated on future construction-related traffic controls. So please visit our website or sign up for all these updates. Also, I want to kind of briefly highlight our NDOT vacancy rates. More like statewide, NDOT are 1,951 positions. We're about 21% vacant. Especially at District 2, our vacancy rate is much higher, which affects this region here. It's about 30%. We are recently, Governor Lombardo approved critical hires for our 9 highway maintenance worker program positions at the Board of Examiners meeting. This will enable us to hire experienced retired employees to help out and continue to build our workforce. In the greater Reno area, we were able to hire 1 out of 3 positions for a snowplow operations. The employee will start within the next few weeks. There are additional leads in this district, and we will follow up on those in coming months. And in other parts of the state, we're also actively pursuing leads to seek any retired employees who wants to come back, and we can kind of reclassify and come join our workforce. So I want to briefly mention about our US 50 Tahoe East Shore Corridor Management Plan, public review. The virtual meeting is open right now from February 12th to March 14th. And there will be an in-person meeting on February 27th. There's the website. We are asking folks to go on to the website and see all the information is there. This month, we published the draft US 50 Tahoe East Corridor Management Plan. Since the planning was launched in 2021, outreach has included over 400 public outreach tours, almost 4,000 or a little over 4,000 public and stakeholder comments we received. Important note to this slide, I wanted to make sure we are not recommending reducing any lanes as part of this study. Once again, just our critical hires during the winter months. We're taking a number of steps to build our workforce for our highway maintenance worker program and some positions, as we talked about earlier. The Governor approved our 9 critical hires, allowing us to bring back some highway maintenance workers who are retired and help us do some operations like snowplow removal and other tasks. We are reaching out to recruiting efforts like individual strategic areas like student worker trades, high schools, interns, and trying to fill our highway vacancies to permanently, some positions that we have. Additionally, some suggestions were made to reach out to HOPES for prisoners. That was also received, and we have been reached out to John Ponder for this program information and determining how we can best partner with other organizations to fill this gap during these critical hire winter months as well. And this concludes my update. Thank you for your time.
Any questions from the commission? Okay. How about any commissioner updates? All right. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
We do not.
Well, then that makes us to adjournment at 8:36.